Hi, second grade. We're going to be learning about Gothic cathedrals today, and we're going to be learning how to draw them. During the Middle Ages, which was roughly about 800 to about 1400, Gothic cathedrals were being built in all of the major towns. You weren't really considered an important city center unless you had a large Gothic cathedral. These would also be tourist attractions like they are today, but they would also be pilgrimage sites where holy relics would be. Many of these churches survive today in Europe. One of the most popular ones here, this is a little cardboard cutout of Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris. And you can see all of these cathedrals, the front of this book, this is one in Germany, have the same basic elements. The front has 3 doors, pointed windows, a large round or rose window that is in the middle, and it goes up to 2 towers on either side, which have bell towers. The rest of the cathedral is behind this, but this is what would be called the front portal of the cathedral. And Notre Dame, or Our Lady, was a very popular name given to these various cathedrals. And they would have a variety of different decorations. They could have kings across the front. They could have illustrations from the Bible, Our Lady. They could have the Virgin Mary in part of the decorations. Here's some more kings, pointed arches. So this is the kind of inspiration we're going to be using for our Gothic cathedral. Most of it is going to have a yellow colored stone, and then it has these beautiful stained glass windows which were part of the design as well. This is the kind of thing that we're going to learn to draw today. We're going to learn to draw the front of a Gothic cathedral. So what we need for our picture, move this to one side here, is we're going to need some white computer paper, and we need it to be divided into 3 parts because we're going to do 3 separate sections. Now, sometimes it can be a bit hard to divide it in 3 parts, so you just want to eye it up so that you have it. I like to put a little crease there, part there, and here. You can see I folded it in 3 separate parts. So I'm going to darken them in. It's my 3 separate parts. And so my picture has some boundaries. I'm just going to take a ruler and just going to give a little bit of a border so that my picture doesn't fall off the side. I would say just a tiny bit, maybe as wide as your finger. Okay, I'm going to use my black marker to show you what I've done here. I folded my paper into thirds, but I want 3 separate sections. So I'm going to go over my fold here, over my fold, here's my guideline. I can do that with my ruler if I want. Now, I have it in 3 parts this way. I want it also in 3 parts this way. So if I measure, use my ruler, you can see that it's 8 inches. So if I divide my 8 by 3, you can see that it's just a little bit less than 3 inches, because 3 times 3 times 3 would be 9 here. So it's just a little bit less. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go with, if this is 2.5 here, this is 2.5, I'm going to go with, I'm going to go with 2.5 on this side, and I'm going to go with 2.5 on this side, and that brings me 3 in the middle, which is fine. The middle section should be a little bit bigger because we'd have the bigger door. This is 2.5, then move it over here, put it to the half, 2.5. Okay, so I'm going to draw this straight up and close this here. Straight up and close this here. Now you can already see how this will start to look like this shape here. You can see the doors, the middle part with the rose window, and the towers. Now from this part on, I'm going to be using my pencil again and then outline with Sharpie, just because if I make a mistake, it's easier for me to erase. Now I want each of these lines to double, just a double line here, because with our pictures, we can see here that you have some section here where they have different decoration between the 3 parts. So we want to give ourselves a little bit of extra room for some other patterns and decorations. So I'd say just maybe about a ½ inch across here, and same way here. So I'm going to get my Sharpie marker again. You don't have to use a ruler, but you want your lines to be straight, because in architecture, lines are straight because you need the weight of the building to be distributed so it doesn't fall down. Okay, after that part, we're going to go on to the next thing, and this is where our cathedral is really going to start taking shape. Okay, we want the 3 of them down here to look like pointed doors. So the easiest thing to do is draw a line and a line inside and make it look like a simple house. Okay, do the same thing on the other side, a line and a line, make it look like a simple house. Okay. Now let's make this one a line and a line, but the top to be curved. Okay, a line, line, the top to be curved. Now this would be the section that would have the rose window. So let's put a circle inside here. I'm going to do it in pencil first because circles can be hard. So I'm going to go, I usually like to go rainbow and smile. Okay, circle. And then I'm going to draw a circle inside my circle. Let's be the same. Circle inside a circle. Then another circle. Okay. And then I want 2 rectangles in each one. Now, you can see how you're easily starting to build up your Gothic cathedral. So what really makes it more interesting is just how much more detail you add. The more detail you add to it, the more interesting it becomes. Let's go, like in this one here, they've got another circle in here, the circle inside, circle here, circle inside. We'll put a divider here, and then another line here. And let's repeat that shape, right? And let's go repeat that inside. You can see how it's starting to get nicely detailed. And that's really what it's all about. The more detailed it looks, the more interesting the picture. Now I'm going to put some doors on here. So I'm going to make my doors in the center. And I'm going to bring them down. Curve and down, curve and down. Put this in the center, repeat that shape, curve and down, curve and down. And let's make this go up. Okay, let's add some lines along here. Let's put a line in the middle. Then let's divide that into 2 on either side. Let's put a line in the middle. Let's divide that into 2 on either side. Put a line in the middle. Divide that into 2 on either side. Okay, that looks great. Let's divide this with another ledge here. And add another ledge here. Good. Well, that looks exciting. And let's start to make this look like a rounded shape up here. Let's put another line up the sides here. And then go in the center. Let's make the bell tower at the top double. Make our stained glass window look like it's in sections. So we're going to divide it in half this way, divide it in half this way, put a diagonal line through this way, put another diagonal line in through this way, and then let's just put circles in each one, because then it will look like, we can color it to look like bits of stained glass. And this one. Okay, that's good. I'm going to start tracing over my lines. You can see the more detail you add, the more interesting your picture gets. And you can kind of go crazy with it, but you then want to color it in. So let me just go through some of the parts with my Sharpie marker. Now you can see I can keep adding and adding and adding and adding detail. And whatever you add on one side, you should add on the other. But at this point, you really just might be finished. Again, you can go square in a square, add more lines. It just creates more and more detail. But let's say you're done, because I think this looks very done. We're gonna take an eraser to any areas that you see the pencil, because you can't always cover the pencil when you color it in. Now, the first thing I would color is the sky, because then you get a good idea. See how you have to have a paper underneath in case your marker leaks. You have a good idea of the sky, and then you can start drawing in parts of the cathedral. Now you can see we left a little margin at the end, so you can see. Wait, I'm going to use my scrap paper back here so I don't color onto my surface. As you can see, I made a very colorful Gothic cathedral with stained glass windows, and I made sure that I repeated the colors all the way around. So I hope you enjoy the lesson, and I hope it's fun for you to do. So enjoy. Bye.